I need directions. I need directions. I need directions.
You sound like an idiot.
Here I have a new product, and this here is a unit that I'm actually doing a paid review on, which is typically frowned on by people. However, keep in mind that when I make a review, and if you find the review and it's actually published on my main channel, which is here, and not on my second channel, which I don't quite care so much about technicalities and accuracy, that's typically where I put a lot of that stuff. So keep in mind, a lot of the stuff that I do reviews on is not really worthy of staying on this channel. If it's on this channel, it's there for a reason, because it's worth watching. Here is a close-up of the products that are in the package. So this is the main camera, the on-screen display buttons. This rotates here so you can get the optimal viewing angle. Nice small contained piece on the side there. You got your micro USB and your USB charger, which is located here. So you have the micro USB, which plugs into the camera, and then you have a USB which plugs into this dual USB adapter, which they give you, so that way you have one for the camera and one for a USB that you would have lost had you not plugged this thing in to begin with. However, in my video, I'm going to be using this adapter so I can hardwire this into my vehicle's wiring, so that way it just cuts on and off automatically. These are those window adapters. This is the tool to plug the wires in, which of course I won't be using. This here is a little bracket, so you can mount it on there. A couple manuals. Now these manuals, useless. Really, scan the app. When you turn this thing on, it'll have a QR code. You scan that, go on there, open it up on your desktop and read it, because that's really of value. These things, just forget those things. So let's get this thing in the vehicle. Let's start tinkering with it. So the first thing you have to do to install this camera is to take this electrostatic dealy, peel that off, and find the spot where you want your camera to be mounted. I'm going to go right behind my rear view mirror, which is where they suggest. And also, because it gives me the availability to, once I mount this guy, I can shoot this pretty much down, see what I want to be, what I'm recording and what's going on the screen, adjust the buttons, and I can have this basically in the center of the vehicle, so I pick up the whole road. So if you're using this for the advanced driver safety system, the ADAS feature, this is going to be basically in the middle, because it's going to be picking up the lanes, it's going to be looking at items that are in the front of the vehicle, so you want to have it pretty much as dead accurate in the center as possible, which isn't always possible, but that's about the best you can do. So you have to give a little with these things. Let's get this thing going in here. There you go. And the wires come out on the right side, which is nice, because you have the camera basically here on the left, which is cool. And then on the right side, I can take my wires and I can go over here, up into this wire loom, up over the headliner, down, and underneath the dashboard, where I can connect my power. And it should be a pretty nice stealth looking installation. Shouldn't be too hard on the eyes when I'm done with it. Here is the power cord for this unit. It seems to be plenty long, plenty of lead here. So what you need to do is, you got this right angle side of the wire, and that is going to go right there. And rightfully so, they have the right angle with the output going in the upward direction, which makes total sense to go up, and you can kind of get in line with this guy here. If you could take a piece of wire loom and you could actually cover them both, which is what I'll do. Get it and run it over. And I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to try it. They include this little tool Typically I would use a hook tool like this, but I'm just going to, for the heck of it, try it. I'm supposed to be reviewing their product, so I'm just going to review their tool. Yeah. See if it's of any value. You know what? It actually is. Actually, it doesn't work that bad. Not that this is very hard to do in this headliner, because it's pretty soft. You can actually use your fingers to pull it down. Actually, in all fairness, we'll see how it performs over there. So I'm going to leave myself enough slack so that way I can take a wire loom and I can put these two together, just for neatness' sake. You know, I'm a neat freak with wiring. As you probably already know. Let's get that guy in there. Now here's where it gets tricky when you make this turn. Pull it down. And yeah, I guess it's really not that bad. Actually, in some ways it's actually better than my tool because it's got a softer rubber edge, which is very good. Especially if you look closely, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a big old airbag down in there. You don't want to go puncturing that. So this tool is definitely valuable. And I'm shocked to say, I'm actually glad they included it. Because I'm actually making good use of it. I'm sorry, Hook Tool. All those years we've been together, I feel like I'm cheating on it. Really, all you have to do is just kind of hide it through the channel. And if you're just doing a standard installation, you could just run this down underneath the dashboard, find your cigarette lighter, plug in the adapter, click it in, and be done with it. But here's the thing, some of those cigarette lighters, they're constant 12 volts, which may or may not be good because I want my camera to get power when I turn my key on and it's got energized by the ignition, and off when it's off. And when I leave, I want that motion sensing for security purposes when I'm not around the vehicle. So I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to hardwire mine into the wiring underneath the dashboard, or you could just use a fuse panel, whatever you got going on in your specific vehicle. And should you need actually wiring colors or something like that, you could always shoot me a message. I'll be happy to provide the information for you because I love to help people. And it's not always as easy as I make it sound. I understand that. So if you do need help, don't be afraid to ask. But I'm going to run that and connect it so that way it works the way I want it to work. Long story short. Get out of here. In my vehicle, I have this little side panel here, and again, I use this little tool. This little tool is actually pretty damn handy. Stick it in there, click, pop that critter right out of there. I've already got my wire run down here. You can see plenty of slack. And this is a huge ass vehicle, so you will not have a problem. I'm going to take this, plug it into the port, and I'm taking my DC adapter. I plug this in here. Pull this dash down. And I've already got 12 volts right there, so I can just piggyback this on top of what I got existing, and my wiring is done. Watch this, citizen. Ready for action. You see that? Recording all by itself.